I'll be committing to
University of Alabama.
no, roll tide, roll tide.
We live, we live, we live.
City girls make a wish light range. Shout out,
Yo, we're live. They said we're live.
shout out Tory Lanez.
Hello. This is real. Can they turn this up?
Shout out Tory Lanez. Shout out.
Or is it just me?
Who is that,
Big bottom lip, nah.
bro? Why, bro? Why'd he come?
Hello.
Gonna be there, everyone.
It's low. Can you turn it up?
Are we live, people?
Hello.
Are we live? We're live? Okay. Hey. Yeah. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's virtual event. I'm Caleb Arma, and I'm your moderator for today. And welcome to Youth Chats. Yes, okay. So if you don't know what Youth Chats is, I'll briefly just summarize it for you. Youth Chats is a panel discussion where youth members or teenagers come together to share their opinions, their beliefs, and their experiences on real-world issues and problems. And for tonight's topic, we're talking about social media and how it affects our daily life, okay? So we have some beautiful panelists right next to me, and they're about to introduce themselves. But some of you might be familiar with a panel discussion because recently we partnered with our favorite, Minister Lisa, to do a panel discussion. And if you haven't checked that out, you need to go check that out right now, or no, right after this, because we're important, okay? And check that out after this, and we'll try to link it in the chat or somewhere below. And we want you guys to be so interactive in the chat because sadly you guys can't be in the audience to view us. So we want you guys to give us comments, give us feedback, give us questions. We want all that. We need all that, okay? So we're gonna get started and we're gonna introduce our panelists for tonight. So Kobe, it's off to you.
All right, my name is Kobe, and I'm from Newark.
My name is Kwabi, and I'm from Jersey. So
We're all from Jersey.
I mean, yeah, but like
What part?
Foreign Park.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth.
My name is Geraldine. I'm from Roselle, New Jersey, 20 years old, and I go to Georgetown University.
Okay. And you guys know me already. My name is Caleb, and I'm moderating the service for tonight. And we're just going to get right into it. We're just going to start off with something simple, something light. So we all kind of use social media here. We're all kind of active on it. So I just want to know, how often are you guys on social media per day? And like, what are some of your favorite apps that you guys use all the time?
Well, starting with me. Well, I usually go on Instagram, TikTok, like normal teenage stuff, like. Nah, I don't know. I can't fix that.
I also be on Instagram probably for like 3 hours a day. Not a lot though.
I spend like about 13 hours a day, probably. But it's not on one app. It's spread of like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, and yeah, that's it.
I'm actually on a social media break, so I spend 0 hours on social media, except for YouTube.
Okay, check you out. I need to go on a social media break too. But what is it about social media that we like so much? Why are we on social media so much? And why do we need a break from social media? Geraldine, you talked about how you were on a break from social media. Why do we need a break, and like why are we on social media so much? What is it about it is like so interesting?
You know, I think it's a way that we could connect with others as well as like, you know, different variations of doing so. But like, yeah.
Well, what I could say is that like oh, now y'all get me. All right. So it's like a time waster because during we're in the pandemic now. We really can't do nothing. Most people can't play sports or like can't even go outside to like interact with other people. So like we usually just spend that time to just be on our phones and most of the time be on like social media and stuff because that's what entertains us.
I think it's like a keeper upper. Like I like to see what other people are doing, and I like to keep up with stuff. And social media is the easiest way because I'm not gonna watch the news because to me, I mean that's like it's kind of boring. And social media makes it more eye popping. And like I like to see like how other people are living, and I don't mean like I like am envious of them, but like when I see people like living good, I'm like, oh, I want that, oh, I like that, oh, I like what they're doing, and I guess that's just it.
Okay. And I personally feel like it makes us feel like we're a part of something greater, especially in the time of COVID, because we're not doing the normal things that we're doing. You know, we're following people that we don't know, and they're following us, but it just kind of helps us to connect with people that we wouldn't normally see in person, especially celebrities. Like, we don't even know them, we're never going to see them, but just like being able to see what's going on with their lives makes us, you know, relate with them as well, but it can get overwhelming.
So for me, what I think like social media, why we're so invested into social media is because social media is like a big platform, right? Like a platform, and like for your profile picture, your profile, whatever, that's kind of your brand, and you're kind of representing your brand and what you're doing with your brand. And it's kind of like you're streaming through other people's brands, and you're kind of looking at other people. And I think that's why we're kind of so invested into social media, because we all nosy. We want to we want to see what's going on with other people's lives and things like that. But I want to ask Geraldine and Kwabi this question. I want to hear your takes on it first. Do you guys think that social media has more of a positive impact or a negative impact on our lives, and like why?
Okay. I think it could have both. It could have a positive impact in that, like, you can use that platform to do whatever you want. Like, I've seen a lot of people, you know, go from nothing to something. You know, now they're making all this money because of social media. The pictures that they're posting, you know, it leads to people reach out to them so that they can like sponsor their products and stuff. So it can have a positive impact, but it can also have a negative impact when it comes to like seeking validation. You know, you try to make the perfect picture so that you can get all those likes, and if you don't get all those likes, then you're insecure, and you know that can have a big negative effect on you.
Okay, so social media can give you a voice, can give you a platform to like, you know, say whatever you want, spread your ideologies, whatever you feel you need to inform people about. But there's a lot of projection on social media, and a lot of people are insecure. The ones who are on social media the most are like, they kind of like want to seek that validation from others because they always compare themselves to the next person. They're never good enough. They always have to get outside validation. That's why people are so obsessed with the followers and the likes and the comments, and they spend all day thinking about that because that's all they've really known.
So Kobe or Elizabeth, do you guys have anything to contribute to that or like add?
I agree with both what they're saying. I also think it's depending on what you decide to follow, who you decide to follow, that could have a positive or a negative impact on like your life. If you decide to follow like, I don't know, the Shade Room, it could be a very toxic environment to be in, which can have a negative impact on your life. So it all comes down to who you also decide to follow, but also like insecurities or validation and all that stuff.
Okay. Oh, well said, all of you, because you guys stole the next topic right out of my mouth. But we're going to move on. Be honest when I ask you this question, because I know a lot of aunties and a lot of uncles, came on this live and was like, yeah, go talk about social media because my son is addicted to social media. Da, 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 da. Do you guys think that we're honestly addicted to social media?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so you have it there. All the aunties and uncles watching, and yes, we kind of said that we're addicted to social media, right? But in a sense, I feel as though we're all addicted to social media. It's not just teenagers and younger people, it's also adults. And I'm coming for the adults' throats right now, but it's okay. It's okay. I feel as though we need to stop thinking that social media is just, oh, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Just because you aren't on those apps doesn't mean that like there's more social media apps. There's emailing, there's WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is one strong one that all of our aunties and uncles are on. We all know that one. And then there's also the internet browser that everybody's on. So in a sense, we're all kind of addicted to social media, if we're being honest. And there's this one term that we like coined for these WhatsApp aunties and whatever, and it's called WhatsApp aunties. And they're the aunties that, you know, share information, whether it's a testimony or some crazy stuff like don't iron next to your phone. They're WhatsApp aunties. They're gonna tell you what's good, what's right. And I think my mom's a little bit of a WhatsApp auntie. I'm coming for her throat right now, but it's okay. And I have a story to back this because I don't know about you guys, but like before Corona time, or like when Corona was getting very serious, right? There was this tea or remedy that we were supposed to have that was supposed to protect us from COVID-19, right? And I got the message from a whole bunch of aunties, and they were like, oh, yeah, drink this tea. And I would send it back, and I'd be like, okay, I'll try it, maybe. But I never really tried it. I was like, no, I'm not trying it. It sounded nasty. If you guys don't know, the tea was, like, made of pineapple, like, lemon, garlic, whatever. I don't know. It was a lot in there. And I was like, I did not want to drink it. But somehow, some way, my mom got a hold of that message, and yeah, it was like the rest of I was done, right? My mom got a hold of the message, and then boom, started making the tea. I said, oh my God, oh my goodness. So she made the tea, and she forced me to drink it, and it was the nastiest drink that I've ever tasted in my life. And but I can't even tell you whether or not if that tea protected me from Corona because I haven't had it, but I'm not gonna give my glory to the tea. I'm gonna give my glory to God, because no. But yes, do you guys have any other experiences with WhatsApp aunties? Tell a story.
Okay, so when COVID started, I don't know, I feel like my mom saw this thing on WhatsApp where you have to like stick your face in a pot of boiling water. So she made all of us in our family stick our face in a pot of boiling water and put a towel over it and just stayed there. The water is burning our face, and like, you know, it was just very, very inaccurate. It was ghetto, okay?
Anybody else? No? Okay, y'all can't think of it. It's okay. Yeah, I think like I said, everybody's kind of addicted to social media because if you're not on social media, what are you doing? Because everything's so accessible on social media. If you want to read the Bible, it's on your phone. If you want to do this, it's on your phone. If you want to learn how to cook, it's on your phone. So we're all addicted to social media. But we talked about like validation and like how we all kind of post just for people to like and just for people to see us. But why do we, like, if we go deeper into that, why do we seek validation so much? Why is it that somebody can't post, oh, I'm feeding the homeless, without somebody commenting, oh, you're only doing this for clout, you're only doing this for fame? Why is it that we all kind of only seek validation when it comes to posting things and updating people on social media?
I feel like the idea of social media has changed over the years. It's definitely become like the seeking validation and that whole thing. And I think it's just like to see someone else do better than what you're doing could put you in a spot where like, oh, now they're seeking validation because I'm not there yet, or in that type of sense, type of.
I feel like a lot of people with their normal life, they will not get validation from others around them. But because on social media, you can portray yourself in whatever way you want to, you know, and, you know, a lot of people are following you and you don't even know them. You've never seen them before. Like, just getting that extra validation makes you feel good.
So you have to like go back to Because humans, like, we're social, like, beings, right? So we obviously want, positive energy coming towards us. We don't want any negative energy. So when you put it on a grander scale, such as social media, when the more likes you get, it's just the more you want. You get 500, next you want 1,000. You get 1,000, next you want 2,000, then 3,000, and so on. So I think it's just people wanting more.
Yeah, I agree with like everybody because like as humans, we all want like we all like when we get a like a compliment. When somebody say, "Oh, you look nice," or "You look very pretty," like that could go a long way. So going on social media, seeing people comment like, "Oh, this dress is pretty," or "This you look nice in the makeup and stuff like that," that will like boost our morale. So that's why people like will want that validation, I guess. But there will be people that will be like, "Oh, that's not nice," and stuff like that.
But when I don't know about you guys, but when I'm scrolling through social media, yeah, this microphone. I'm scrolling through social media, and I feel like when I'm scrolling through social media, everybody's kind of looking the same now at this point. Everybody's smiling, everybody's trying to look good, and I feel as though when we're on social media, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Instagram, we all like only kind of post when we look decent, when we look good. Like you're not gonna go on Instagram and see somebody looking crusty, crazy, like morning head, unless that's the type of person that they are. So now I want to know, why is it that we kind of only polish up ourselves for social media? Why do we look good just to post on social media? Is it because it's a validation thing, or is it just because, oh, I want people to see that, hey, like I can be cute too. Hey, I can feed the homeless too, things of that sort.
And to get the most likes. I mean, if you see a post of somebody looking nice versus somebody look like they just rolled out of bed, you're gonna wanna look at the one where they're looking nice more. I mean, it's just how we are.
I say is because celebrities, in a sense, is like Beyonce or like Rihanna. They post a picture of them looking very natural and like nice, right? But that'll be like the standard of what women or like people will have to look like when they post a picture. So that's why people like have to polish up because they trying to like look as good as them in a sense.
And I think it also goes for like what Kwabi was saying, the fact that like if you roll out of bed and take a picture, you won't necessarily get praise for that like you would if you took a picture where you're all polished up. So people are not gonna necessarily want to take a picture where you look all crusty and crap, and it's like that's not very attractive or appealing to other people that's gonna follow you.
Okay, well, let me say this. Okay, let's just take appearance away from it, right? When we post on social media, we want people to think that we're happy. It's kind of like a facade in a sense. We want people to think that we're happy, we're living our best lives and things of that sort. But I won't go on social media and see somebody crying, for instance. And if they're crying, they're laughed at because people are like, why are you crying on Instagram? Why are you showing this side of you? So why have we normalized looking so good and like being happy on social media versus being real with yourself and being honest? Because we all know that we face different mental issues and mental things like that, but we don't go and like broadcast it out. Why do we only post us looking happy, us with our friends and things of that nature?
I feel like one of the things is that like we've come so far within social media that it's hard to turn back, hard to like change and just put the reality out. Now it's like, oh, now we gotta sit there and smile and be like we're happy when you're actually not. And I feel like people not gonna want to see someone sad on their For You page or following like who you following. Nobody's gonna want to see that. So that's not what they're gonna post, you know.
Well said, well said. And Kobe, you spoke on standards a little bit, and I feel like the reason why we seek validation, like you said, is because we seek, like, because of the standards set in place by society and things of that sort. So now let's break those kind of standards. Let's see what those standards are. Like standards when it comes to relationships, standards when it comes to life. What are some of the standards that you feel are placed by society and reinforced by social media? It could be anybody. Anybody could answer. Like for me, for instance, when it comes to relationships, one big standard that I feel like is, oh, you're your partner has to have like a good love language or whatever it's called. Your partner, you guys need to be married by 30. If you're not married by 30, it's cutthroat. Like, what are you doing with your life? Those kind of standards, I feel like, are reinforced by social media because we open up our phones and we're scrolling and then we'll see, hey, so-and-so just got married at 27, so what are you doing with your life? And I feel like we have social standards that like we need to talk about. Like, what are these standards and why are they stressing us so much?
I feel like another standard is like being financially stable at like a certain age, like in your early 20s or something like that. But it's like that's not the case for everybody. But because you see majority of the people or like people are using their resources near them to do those things, it's like now it's become the norm. So the social media influences that because that's what everyone is doing, or the majority at least, or what is being shown. So why not, you know?
I think it's the drive to be at the top. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to be number one, the most liked, the most followed, the most popular. But I don't think a lot of people, well, number one, a lot of people don't really want to work to get there. They just kind of want it to happen. So when it doesn't happen to them, they compare themselves to other people that may not even be above them, but it just seems like they are because they're actually working hard. And they're just like, look at my life. I'm kind of this place and this person's above me. And then they only go out to seek more validation. It gets them deeper into the social media rabbit hole.
Okay, well, there you guys have it. Y'all getting deep on me. I didn't think y'all was going to get that deep. Yeah, so now let's talk about different standards. Like earlier you guys brought up, the number of likes that you have to have. Let's talk about body image. Like, I feel like in the 90s, the perfect body was like to be skinny. You had to be skinny. What is the it body for this, like, for our society? What does everybody want to look like this in this generation?
They definitely want to be slim thick. According to Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, you know, Megan Thee Stallion made a song, body yada 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 yada. You know, it very defines what, you know, people are trying to strive for.
What's slim thick? Because you know we got some aunties and uncles that don't know what that is.
You know, slim at the top and then thick at the hips.
Okay. So what about, like, for guys, is there like a body image that we want to look like? Is there some type of, hey, you have to look like this to be guy? Like,
There's like different ones. You gotta be tall, over 6 foot, probably like 6'3". Okay, yeah, gotta be like 6'3", built. Gotta play some type of sports. Gotta have your own money, something like that. Like those type of like stuff.
and for me, I feel like those body types are true because, like you said, there's people on social media that are getting praised for things like their attractiveness and their body and things like that. Me, I was scrolling on TikTok one day, right? Scrolling on TikTok, and there's like these TikTok boys, TikTok girls, you know, the ones that look really beautiful, really nice or whatnot. And this guy had like thousands of likes and thousands of comments. I'm like, what is it about this guy? Now, I'm not gonna lie, the guy's handsome. He's a handsome guy, okay? I'm not gonna lie. His body is like muscle, build, whatever. And I scrolled through and I'm like, okay, so how old is this guy for him to be getting all these people in his comments? Oh my God, he looks so good, whatever. So I scrolled through and tried to see his age. He's 15. I said, yeah. What kind of 15 is this one? Because when I was 15, I was not looking like that one. I was looking like 12. I was looking like 11. And me now, I'm 18. I'm looking like, well, 15. I don't even know what the age. I don't even look 18. So it's like these body images, sometimes we're like, we don't look like those bodies, right? But we get on social media and boom, we see all of these bodies and everybody's getting praised for their body and we're trying to keep up with them. And that's why I feel like standards comes with a timeline. Like I said, relationships, you have to be married by 30. When it comes to life, you have to have a luxury apartment by like 18 to 21 or whatever. You need to have a car by this. You need to own land by this time and age. So can you guys tell me a little bit how that affects your mental health? Like a timeline, how does that affect our mental health? Because I feel like with our generation, one thing that we face a lot that we like kind of make a joke out of is anxiety and depression. I feel like we go through that a lot. why are we so depressed, and like why do we have so much anxiety? What is the cause behind all this?
Well, I believe like the pressure to be great, like
Quabi, switch your mic.
I would say like like let's say you're like a first generation person to go into college, right? Was it and in like this now age, you had to that pressure alone, being trying to be great, trying to get through college, trying to be like somebody successful, is gonna like cause like something not like yeah, cause you to like break down because you have nobody that you know that's going through the same thing that you're going through. Like maybe your parents is like not making enough money for you to even pay for college and for them to support you and themselves and the household and all that. Like that's what I think.
I think it's also like parents' influences. Like from what they had before, us as a generation moving forward, we don't want what they had, if that makes sense. Like we want better for ourselves. So being that that's the case, a lot of people put out like what they've done or what they're trying to accomplish in their goals and stuff. And it's like it makes you look at your life and see what you're doing, and it makes you want to do what others are doing, whether it's positive or negative, because it's just like in the heat of the moment, that's what everyone's doing.
I feel like those standards actually like just make you feel like you're falling behind in life. And a lot of people, you know, even Christians, we're taught that God's timing is the best timing. You know, focus on what God has for you. Whatever's gonna happen is according to His timing. But you know, when you see all these people doing all these things at a young age, at your age, or even like younger than you, accomplishing all this and all that, you feel like you haven't accomplished nothing. And even your parents will tell you like, look at your friend, like she's doing this, she's doing that, why aren't you doing that? Like, so it's pressure.
So we were talking about pressure, right? But even if we didn't have social media, right? Wouldn't you guys think that like the pressure would still be on just because Geraldine got accepted into this college, so you must be getting accepted into? So you guys think that the pressure would still be on, right?
Not necessarily though. How would I know Geraldine got accepted? That's only
By
if
word
I
of
know.
mouth.
Testimony.
Well, yeah, word of mouth.
But word of mouth, but that could only go that far. Social media is a huge platform, and you spread a lot more information with that. So if it's only word by mouth, that could only get you so far for everyone to know that she got accepted to a certain school. You know?
Good. Okay. Good point. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like with social media, I mean, like just in person, you would still hear about it. People nagging you. People are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, so what school are you going into? What school are you going to?" Me, I know when I was applying to college, what school are you going to? What school are you going to? And it's like if you're not going to a good school, then people are gonna be like, "Oh, okay, good for you." Like, you know, like that's what they'll just be. "Oh, okay. What schools have you applied to?" "Oh, me, I applied to da da da." Okay, that's literally the response. That's it.
Yeah, and like the idea that we're supposed to know what we want to do going into college, or like have everything kind of figured out before we take that step. But it's like that's not the reality of it. But it also goes to like that's what it has become, and that's what they have to kind of live up to that expectation.
Okay, so what I'm hearing basically is like you guys think that social media projects these kind of like this pressure. Social media is what like is forcing us. We already have these kind of expectations and these standards, but when we look on social media, it's kind of what's pushing us. Is that what you guys are trying to say?
Yeah, I feel like it goes both ways. With like if we want to talk about college stuff or like stuff like that specifically, I think it also goes for parents and their influence and their pressure of like, they do want their child to do great, but the way that they portray or express that isn't in the correctest way. That's the
Yeah.
word.
It definitely makes it easily accessible. So
Well, yeah, you guys have a point. I just think that what you're trying to say is like, we already hear enough of this from home, basically. We hear about it from home, but when we get on the social media, it's like it's also there. It's also pressuring you, right? And I feel like two other things besides depression and anxiety that we go through is like like low self-esteem, and then also like a lack of self-identity, because we're all trying to like fit into the norm. We're all trying to like, oh my gosh, did you guys see what Rihanna posted? Oh my God, I have to post like her next time. Like, so we're all trying to follow what all these other people are doing. Meanwhile, they already have their sense of identity, and we are still growing up, and we're still being affected by different things, and we kind of lack who we really are as a person. So people think that, oh, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, but in reality, we don't really know, right? Okay, so. Let me pull up some more questions, because y'all is getting deep. So now we've figured out some of the mental health issues that we have. How do we look after our mental health, and how do we like keep a good mental state as an active social media user?
Yeah, I think active is the word. Don't be on social media. Simple. If you don't, if you're not able to handle the stress or the pressure that comes with social media, don't be on it.
But
It's
you
simple.
just said it's addiction, so
It's addiction, but you could stop being addicted to something if
How
you
can you
really.
stop?
But if you're really serious about stop like being not addicted or whatever, you can do it. It's just whether or not you have that will to do so, and some people just don't have that will to do so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what if you want to be on like social media, right? But you still like want to take after your mental health. Not necessarily like it's like a deep weight on you, but you still want to look after your mental health. How do we go about that?
You can control like what you see on social media, like depending on who you follow. Like if you see somebody's, posting all this stuff, posting their body, shaky, delete, unfollow quickly. If you see somebody, they like kind of, I don't know, like they trying to be a hot girl, post their body, like make it seem like, I don't know, they're a model, like, and that's making you insecure. Unfollow, like even if it's your friend, unfollow just to protect your mental health.
But what about the apps that like you can't control what you see? Like for TikTok, for instance, you don't like your For You page is like it's geared towards your interests, but sometimes you just like a video will pop up that you can't control, like you just seen it.
Ain't TikTok supposed to be banned?
Me cry, I don't know. I don't know Trump. I don't know that one. But yeah, like how do we still look after our mental health? Like I want to know what's the addition? Like, oh, we heard like, oh, get off of social media. We heard, oh, unfollow the people that are making you feel some type of way. What are some other ways or alternate ways to look after your social or your mental health?
I think it's to also limit the amount that you're on. Like if you have like an iPhone, I don't know if this is on like Samsungs or Androids, but it's like it has like the time that you or the hours you be on your phone in a week, and it breaks it down to like social media and networking and like internet, whatever the case may be. So like limit the time that you are on these apps and find something else to do, whether it's like going outside, I don't know, playing cards, games, hanging out with your family, going out or something, instead of being on your phone all day.
Here's the mic.
I
Can we
think
get
you just
another
have
mic for Kobe, please.
Okay.
Tech team. You guys, let me just say this right now. I'm so proud right now. This is the first event where the youth is actually doing it, okay? We're talking about tech team is doing the youth. Set up, the youth did it with the assistance of my mom. Thank you. And the panelists were all doing it youth. So this is the first ever event where we're doing a whole youth kind of like thing. So kudos to us. And I want to hear some clap. Yes, I want validation. I want validation in the comments down below. I need to hear that we're doing good, okay? Yes, like it, share it, send it to your friends, your family. We need those kind of validation. We're just waiting for Kobe's mic right now, please. Have mercy.
Oh.
Okay. Well, we're like we said, we're all on social media. We're all active on social media. One of the things that I feel like our generation suffers from is like a lack of privacy. Do you guys think that an active social media user can be on social media and be private, even though it's a private account? Obviously, we're not going to post our tax returns or our address, but do you guys think that we're capable of being private?
Yes,
Expand, why?
because okay, you have to consider what private is to you. If private to you is just making a private account and that's it, then you can be private. If private to you is limiting the amount of people that follow you, not blocking a certain amount of people, only following a certain amount of people, only having a certain amount of accounts, then that's private. You can still be private on social media. You just don't have to, you just have to participate in it less.
Like what he's saying is like also depending on your standard or what your definition of privacy is to you. But it goes to like when you post certain things, whether it be relationships, whether it be you doing great, when you allow those things to happen, you allow for people to put their input into what you're doing, which could either make you have low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, whatever the case may be. And it's like, it doesn't really help you in that sense. So privacy, I don't know, like you.
I feel like privacy is like kind of non-existent. Yeah, because you could post one thing, like you could say one thing or tweet one thing, and like a few years later they're gonna bring it back up, and you can't delete it.
Yeah, screenshot it.
Everybody probably screenshotted what you said, probably like saved it, and even if you try to delete it, people still remember.
Mhm.
So like you really can't be private unless you learn, not learn, but like limit what you say and like stay to yourself.
But then you're not being private, right? You're just like you feel like you're restricted to what you're doing because you want to be private.
That's only for celebrities though, like
But
nobody's.
we don't look. We're in a day and age, right, where we don't know when we're gonna blow up. Okay, anybody can blow up right now.
Yeah, bro.
Look
dude.
at 6ix9ine. Who going selected him? Okay, look at what's his Whoa Vicky girl, whatever, the girl that thinks she's black or whatever. I don't know what's her issue, but we don't know when we're gonna blow up. So it's not like you can just tweet carelessly and just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna post because I think I'm private right now." But in the future, it can like take a toll on what you did in the past.
Yeah, but bro, nobody's screenshotting what I post in my IG story. Like if I did it right now, no one's screenshotting.
How you know? How about for the future?
Because I'm a random right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, what about privacy in terms of interest? Because I feel like you can only be private to a certain extent. There's no like, yes, I have a private account. That doesn't mean that you're private though. People on Instagram, for say, like when you're accepted into a private account, you can go see who they're following and who's following them, and you can see what they're posting, right? So when you look at what they're like the people that they're following and the people that are following them, you can get to know, okay, so who is this person? Okay, they're following this celebrity. Okay, so obviously they like this celebrity or whatnot. On TikTok, I think that's the most private you can be because nobody can see your likes, but people can still see who you follow, I think, if you're not a private account. Facebook, I don't know. WhatsApp, because I'm not on Facebook, but WhatsApp, it's literally only your number, so people with your number can see what you're doing. But like in terms of interest, like what they're seeing in your social media, can you be private?
I think in general the answer would be no then.
Okay, because even through Twitter, like Twitter, ooh, that Twitter is bad, okay? They need to take away the feature where you can see somebody's likes. Because I feel like when you go through somebody's likes, that's how you really know who they are as a person and what they find humorous and things of that sort.
Now like Instagram has now developed, some new things, vanish mode, a whole bunch of rah, and it's like now it's starting to create whether like trust issues, which could also tie into a whole bunch of stuff, whether it be self-esteem, depression, and whatever. And it also brings up privacy because it's like then you don't like, yeah.
Okay, so after this segment, we're gonna take a little break and I'm gonna try to interact with the viewers right now. But what is some advice that you would give a young person? Because the age restriction for a lot of these apps, I think, are like 13 or something. But a lot of people that are younger are on social media, and they do want to keep up with the standards and the trends and the social media influencers and things like that. I don't even know social media influencers, but they want to keep up with those kind of people. What advice would you give a young person or a person that's new to social media when they first get on the app? What would you tell them?
If you first get on the app, get off the app. You don't need to be on the app at that age, as well as like parents giving kids their phones at a very young age nowadays. That's also become a problem, and that's where they also go and see things. Limit the amount of what you're exposed to. Try to limit, and if you see something that you don't necessarily like or causes you to feel some type of way, like people say unfollow or just like get off, take a break, or do what you need
But
to do.
you're a child at that point. You can't even like when you're a child, you don't think that way. Your mentality is like little.
So what is a child doing on social media? What is your purpose? What are you doing on
We
there?
don't know, peer pressure. I don't know. Everybody's on social media, so why am I not on social media? That's how they literally that's how they download social media apps. That's how I downloaded social media apps when I was younger. Hey, you're on Kick. Hey, you're on Uvu. Okay, go ahead and add my username. Okay, then I'll go back and I'll go and download the thing, right? So what else? What other advice would you give to a new social media user? I want to hear something from everybody. Y'all gotta think deep on this. I got y'all with this one, yeah. The mic is low.
Don't limit your time being on the.
Say like don't compare yourself. Don't idolize people. Don't try to be like the next person you see on your screen. Every time you reload your screen, you see somebody new. You want to be like that person, because then you always want to. Oh, I want to be like this person. I want to be like that. But then you never like, who do I really want to be?
How do you do that?
By not comparing yourself to people.
But you're young. You're in this young state of mentality, and you want to look like everybody else. Like we said, we even go through struggles of, hey, like the body standard right now is like to be slim thick. So what if I want to be slim thick? So how do you not compare yourself?
I think it's just taking time away from yourself to find out what you want, explore more of yourself, and see like what you like, what you dislike, and what you want your outcome to be. Maybe your outcome and your end goal is to be slim thick. By all means, go ahead. But if you want to sit there and be chubby, fat, go do that too. If you want to be like a steak, go do that too. You know, just like be comfortable, be comfortable in yourself before you can further go ahead and follow more people or like be on social media more, so that you know you're sure of yourself and that you won't easily be impacted by others or things you see.
Okay, and my advice would be just don't be trying to be grown. Like, only follow people who are in your age group. And if somebody who's like in their 20s is trying to follow you, do not accept the follow request. You guys are in two completely different age brackets. Like, do not accept.
Okay, so what I would say basically is social media is such a huge thing, right? And everything on social media is a lie. Like, everything that you see on social media, people aren't genuine on social media. So those social media influencers that you might see online, they don't look like that in real life. I promise you they don't look like that in real life. So don't try to look like them. Instead of you trying to look like them, like your parents might say, set your own example, be your own person. You can become a social media influencer by being yourself, and you can also represent a lot of people that look like you because you're a social media influencer. So don't look at social media and try to keep up with everything. Fashion trends, okay, maybe yes, but if it's too grown or whatnot, where they're wearing bikini and you know you don't even have breast self, don't go and do it what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go and look at social media and think, hey, I need to look like this. I need to be like this. You're still a young person. You're still somebody who doesn't know. Be your own person. And with that, we're gonna like wrap up the first session, I guess. You guys can go off. You guys can go out, drink your water, whatever, eat some chocolate. I want to interact with my viewers right now. I don't know if we got a lot of viewers right now, but we're going to try to interact with them. Right now, what I'm going to do is just like, we're going to have a little trivia time, a little trivia moment. I want to know what you guys know about social media so much. So if you're hearing this under the sound of my voice, let me check out the Instagram live real quick. Okay, I see y'all. Let me check out the YouTube live real quick. Okay. How many people? So I want to ask my viewers right now. We're gonna get in touch with my viewers right now. I want to hear what's going on. What do you guys know so much about social media, right? So I'm gonna ask one question or a few questions, and I'm gonna give you guys multiple choice. So for you guys to guess. So the first question I'm gonna have is, what is the maximum number of characters you can use on Twitter? And just guess. A, 120, B, 140, C, 240, or D, 280. So guess one of those things, A, B, C, or D. I'm looking at the comments right now. Nope, not 140. Okay, well, the answer to that one was D, 280. So if you didn't know, you can only have 280 maximum number of characters on Twitter. Okay? All right, now the next question. What is the most used social media app right now? What is the most used social media app right now? A, Instagram. B, YouTube. C, Facebook. Or D, WhatsApp. WhatsApp. No, it's not WhatsApp, it's not Instagram. It's between YouTube and Facebook. Somebody guess it. You guys are just doing Instagram. It's not Instagram. Oh. The answer to that one was C, Facebook. Facebook is the most used. And if you didn't know, Facebook was originally created for college students. It was for college students at first. And the most used social media app right now is Facebook. Now, number 3. When was Tumblr first created? A, 2012, B, 2007, C, 2006, or D, 2011? Wow, Nana, you guessed it right on spot. 2007. Okay, look at you. Go ahead, Nana. Okay. If you cheated, it's between you and your God. Oh. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna give a bonus one because now you guys can't cheat with this one. No, my bonus one. My first electronic device was an iPod Touch. Okay, an iPod Touch. So what was the first social media app that I used on Caleb Ayama, have used on my app and on my phone, and you have to guess it. I don't want to say any multiple choice. Guess it. YouTube is false. No, it was not YouTube. It was not Instagram. No, what does the weather app have to do with anything? No. The first social media app that I downloaded was Kik. Kik was the first social media app that I downloaded. If y'all know Kik, y'all know Kik, okay? Kik is it's an old WhatsApp, but that's what we call WhatsApp back in the day. If you don't know, now you know. Okay, now we're back. We're back. Have you heated? Okay. We're back, and we're about to. This is the last kind of conversation we're gonna have. The last main conversation we're gonna have before we close this out. Now we're gonna talk about religion, hate, and social media. I know some of y'all were on live and like, why are they in church and they're not even speaking about Jesus? Now we're gonna speak about Jesus, okay? So when I was doing my research for this program, one of the questions that came up that I thought was so interesting was, should Christians be on social media? Answer honestly. Do you think Christians should be on social media?
Yes and no.
Why do you say no?
It also goes back to the idea of what people portray and like putting the facade. Like yesterday you could have been up in your room partying, smoking weed or whatever, and then the next you like, oh yeah, I'm all about God, and then you put that and you put people down that are going through their journeys, and everyone have their own different journeys. So when you put that, it's like you're downgrading or like degrading someone's process in getting their relationship with God.
Okay, what about the rest of you?
I just feel like you have to watch what you expose yourself to on social media, and also watch what you put out, because it can affect your audience. It can affect like whoever's following you and their walk as well.
I say yes because if you know your if you know like what you are in was it as a Christian, like you follow the Bible to like the team, and like you wouldn't really be affected by most of the stuff that you see on social media as long as you follow like what you believe.
But I think like Christianity as a whole has changed an idea of what is trying to be shown, if that makes sense. It's also like there's people that follow the Bible like the whole extent, and then there's people that follow halfway, and there's people pick and choose what they choose or decide to follow within the Bible. So it's like, where do you draw the line with that?
What about you?
Christians can be on social media. It's just you have to watch who you follow. But there's no bad thing about Christians being on social media. It'd only be a bad thing if you're not a true Christian, and if you're like fake like in your beliefs and like how you trust God's word.
Then how about like the lukewarm Christians and how social media could then affect like your worldly view and then being of God?
Repeat that.
Like lukewarm, the term lukewarm but Christian. How like your worldly views or
Hello,
points, and then like your view of God. How does that?
Hello? Okay. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Okay, so what was the question that you asked? Sorry.
I asked like the term of being a lukewarm Christian and like being on social media, how you can easily be influenced with like the worldly, world or whatever, and then also keeping your view of God. It's not really a question, but just your thoughts.
Okay,
on
so
that.
lukewarm Christians, should they be on social media is what you're trying to say, basically?
But like being on social media does cause the lukewarmness of it.
And like Kobe kind of said, if you're a strong Christian, you should know, but I don't know.
There's a verse that says like if I guess like if your arm causes you to sin, then cut it off or something like that. So if you know that this thing is causing you to sin, then you should cut it off. Like, yeah, but that might not be the same for every lukewarm Christian. So it just depends on the situation.
Personally, I think that there should be no restrictions for social media in the first place. But like you guys said, you must be careful of what you see. Sometimes we learn the song, "Be careful, little eyes, what you see." Dun, 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 be careful, little eyes. But that's true. We need to be careful of what we see on social media, and we need to be careful of like who we're following. And if you're following somebody who's following somebody that's bad, unfollow the person that you're following currently. Like, don't engage with that kind of thing if you know those kind of things are bad for you to look at, or those kind of things will affect you and your journey with Christ, right? Pulling up my questions. I'm putting up my questions. And with Christianity, right, sometimes we can be following Christian influences, Christian people, right? But they can also be false prophets. Just because the person has pastor in their name doesn't mean that you should be following per se. Just because the person has minister in their name doesn't mean that you should be following. There are a whole bunch of false prophets on the internet right now, and some of them even have millions of followers. They have thousands of followers and thousands of people that support them. How do we spot out these false prophets? How do we spot them out, and how do we know who to follow and who to like unfollow?
I think it goes to like your belief and like how strong your belief and faith is in God. Then that's where you could only really differentiate which one is real or fake.
But okay, like let's speak in terms of like a new Christian, somebody who just devoted their life to Christ, and they have a burning passion to get to know God more. As a new Christian, how do you make sure the person that you're following is genuine and is telling you the truth about God?
Well, I say first, like, let's say that prophet on social media says a certain verse, and then interpret it like his way. You should like understand the Bible first, like before you go into like seeing if this prophet is true to his word, or like make sure like what he's portraying aligns to like what your understanding of the Bible means. And if it does, if like, let's say he says, God is great, and then he says like something else like totally different from what the verse in the Bible says, then I don't think you really should like go towards that, because his opinion is not really helping you to bring your faith up with God.
I think that's a good point, really, because when you're a young Christian and you're like on the app, first of all, the Bible, we all know that the Bible can be interpreted in many different ways. Like the text, what I might get, you might not get, and what I share, you might be like, oh, okay, maybe that way would benefit me or would help me learn. So what you're saying is basically like always double check. Just don't go and listen to anybody and say, oh my gosh, what he said is 100% right. I believe in what he says. Just because, oh, he has passion, he has a burn for it, and he's saying it with such like energy doesn't mean that you should be following it. Always back what you say. Always look back at the scripture and always try to analyze it for yourself. Gain your own understanding of the text before you go and follow somebody else, is what you're saying. That's a good point. I like that. Any other like ideas on how to figure out who's a false prophet or whatnot? Nothing. Okay. They took the words out of your mouth, huh? Okay. So there's some false prophets. I don't want to name them all because this one it might come back to me. But what are some good Christian influencers? Do you guys follow any good Christian influencers that you look up to? Like they might have a YouTube channel, Instagram page, whatever. Put us on game, because a lot of people are watching right now. I want to know more Christian influencers that I can follow and that I can keep up to date with. So do you guys know any Christian influencers?
Personally, I don't. Right? But in my experience, I don't really go on social media, so I don't really spend my time on there. I usually go outside, and like I'm trying to, in my life, I'm trying to make the basketball team for my college, and I'm trying to be a walk-on. and I don't really go on social media because that really distracts me. So I rather like stop doing that and like go outside, exercise, make my body better so I could like focus on the goal I really want. So I really haven't like really looked up Christian influences because I've been focused on a different goal.
Okay, so what about the rest of you? Have you guys like encountered any Christian influencers? Geraldine, I thought you were telling me about like what's her name, Donna, Chanel, whatever. I don't know her.
There's a bunch of Christian influencers. There's like Dana Chanel, and she's like a what's that word?
Dana Chanel. If you guys didn't hear, Dana Chanel.
Okay, but most of you probably already know her. And there's somebody called Cyrus Speaks. He's a Christian influencer. He does have a lot of opinions, but you know, he's still like very transparent and he's willing to learn. So like, you know, yeah, I can't think of it right now, but there's a bunch.
Yeah. For me, I think, most of the Christian influencers I know are female, and I think I want to change that. I want to follow more male Christian influencers. But the three that I know of, number one, she's a YouTuber. I think her name is Sophiology, and she's a Christian influencer, but she's not like one of those Christian influencers that every video is about Christianity or whatnot. But before every video that she has, she would like say a scripture, or she would like, she would recite a scripture, and in the end, she would like glorify God or thank God, whatever for whatever's going on in her life. She always brings up God, and I like her for that. Another influencer, these are two upcoming influencers. I don't know if they're on this live per se. I think they have had an event as well. But number one is CCTV. She's a new social media influencer, Christian influencer. She has a YouTube channel, so go check her out. She does compassion chats. She does, like, she spoke on her testimony and things of that sort. And then along with her, we have Addie's Lens, and she's on Instagram, I believe. And she basically tells. She speaks to her followers about her interpretation of the Bible and things of that sort. And I think she spoke about faith recently. So go check out the 4 or 5 people that we just said right now. They could influence your life for the better. You never know. But on to the next. This one is more of a pop culture thing. It just happened recently. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but we have DJ Luke Nasty versus Kirk Franklin. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but DJ Luke Nasty sampled Kirk Franklin's song, and the title was Melodies from Heaven. It's the one that goes, Melodies from Heaven, rain down on me, rain down, that one, okay? That one. So he sampled that song, but he completely made the song vulgar. He made it so explicit, like it became a twerking song. And like, I want to hear you guys' opinions on that. Not only just that, but there's other examples where people turn the Bible in kind of like a joke or like a mimic kind of way. Like with Netflix, I believe they have 2 films on Netflix where one of them is like Jesus is gay or something, and then there's another one where Jesus is like a drunkard. What is like your opinions, or like where do you guys stand with those kind of things?
I didn't even know Netflix did that.
I mean, I heard about it. When I heard about it, I was like, it's just, I think the media, they like to make a joke out of Christians. Like every other religion, we're not supposed to touch that, but Christians, it's okay because apparently Christians are the most hateful, which is not true. So they make like a lot of jokes and they like to slander Jesus' name a lot. So that's why Netflix, they made the film about Jesus being gay and then also being drunk. And some people, they interpret that as like true, like not satirical or not like a joke, but like true things that happen. And they like get misled, and that makes them hate the Bible even more.
I didn't hear about that song part, but I did hear about the movies and stuff. I think people are getting too comfortable, and that's just what it is. They can't, once you are in a comfortable spot, it's hard for you to come out. So, yeah.
Gigi, what are your takes on this?
I would just say don't watch it don't entertain it, because when lightning strikes down from heaven above, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want you to be the one who's getting striked. So just don't, because like God said that, the one sin that is like the unforgivable sin, is blaspheming against the Holy Spirit. You do not want to do that. You don't want to like touch it. You don't want to go near it. So yeah, just focus.
I think it's like really disrespectful when I like hear those kind of things, because literally with any other religion, I don't hear like a DJ sampling a song and making it terrible. I don't hear or like see other religions get like joked about. But I want to know, why do you think that Christians get the most hate or the most slander? Why do people joke around Christianity? Kwabi, you spoke on it like a little bit, but I want to go deeper into that. Why is it that Christianity is like, it's okay to just joke with, it's okay to hate them? Like, why is it okay?
So I think this like whole narrative that like being a Christian means, oh, you hate people, you hate gay people, slavery was in the Bible, so no, black people shouldn't be Christians because the Bible justified slavery, and then all these other things, where you actually have to read the Bible to understand like what they meant. And God
Hey, I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, so God hates the sin, but he doesn't hate the sinner. So just because you're gay doesn't mean a Christian is going to hate you. Maybe they don't agree with the lifestyle you live, and they want to like talk to you and converse with you like why you live that lifestyle, but that doesn't mean they're going to hate you. And I think the media just like runs with that, like, oh, they just hate everybody but themselves.
I think it may also be the idea of that, like, Christianity is the only religion that is, like, of God. Like, all the other religions doesn't really matter per se. So, like, they like to take, I guess, like, the main religion and make fun of it just so that it's, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it is what it is.
I feel like people just joke about what they don't understand. And, even when you're reading Bible stories, I guess to other people, to unbelievers, like the Bible stories seem like it can't happen, like it's impossible. But only God can give you that understanding when it comes to reading the Bible. So if you're an unbeliever, you obviously don't have the understanding. So, it's a joke to you because, you haven't had like a personal experience with it.
I think one of the reasons why we kind of get made fun of as well is because of certain Christians on the internet. A lot of Christians on the internet are very toxic in a sense. Like, they will say one thing, but they would act another way. Like, for instance, I'm probably going to get dragged for this, but I don't really care. A lot of Christians on the internet will say, oh, love thy neighbor. Oh, like, love your brothers and sisters. But, like, when it comes to LGBT community or when it comes to Black Lives Matter or social injustice, they're, like, quiet or they have a negative connotation about it. And, like, that kind of thing, from an outsider looking in, it's like, why do you preach one thing and then you act another way? Like, when it comes to loving your brothers and sisters, then why do you follow a political leader or a leader that shows social injustice to your brothers and sisters? So those kind of things, I feel like, is why people think, oh, they try to make a mockery out of our religion, because you people aren't even secure in your religion. You say one thing and you do another thing. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, Christianity is such a broad thing. There's so many denominations. So, like, a lot of people would, like, they don't get that, like, why is there so many denominations? Why do so many people believe in different things, but they believe in one thing at the same time? So I feel like for that reason, there's a lot of mockery when it comes to Christianity. But on to the next. The Bible app, okay? The Bible app, I know my pastors are probably watching from home and probably like, why are you on the Bible app anyway? You're supposed to be reading your Bible. Okay, cool. But the Bible app has become so social. I don't know if you guys peeped it, but the Bible app now, you can have friends, you can see their highlighted like scriptures, you can see their Bible plans that they're reading. And I just want to know your takes. Do you guys think that this is a good feature or a bad feature?
I think it is amazing. It is a great alternative to social media. I love the plans, like whatever you're going through in life, really, you could just search it up and then they have a plan for you. And just seeing how, they have a feature where you can do a plan with your friend, and then afterwards you can input like your interpretation of the scriptures. So I feel like just seeing that and, building community can really help you in your walk.
Like, I agree with what she's saying, but also it could be like if you have the ability to see what other people put as like the interpretation of a certain scripture, it can make you doubt your understanding in that as well. So that could be a problem with that.
But it's also good to like understand like, oh, maybe what I'm reading and I understand, and like kind of like nitpick people's things, like oh maybe like this thing I said was it, and this person said like, oh, maybe I could like correlate it to each other, or like I could use his word and like make my understanding way better or broader, I guess.
Bobby, what about you?
I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, I already have my phone on me, so it's more convenient anyway. And I just feel like there are certain, like, of course, like a book is always good to have, but like if I have my phone, then I'll be able to remember better which verses, which scriptures that I like the most.
Well, for me, I'm surprised nobody said no, because I was thinking yes and no. The reason why I say yes is because, of course, you can connect with other people and you can see what other people are doing at your own discretion, and you can like, it can motivate you to see other, like your friends, oh, they're reading Bible plans and they're highlighting scriptures. But the reason why I say no is because that can quickly turn into competition, right? Like people, oh, Geraldine just finished her Bible plan. Okay, now she needs to see that I finished my Bible plan. So let me go ahead and read my Bible so that she can get the notification that, hey, Caleb finished his Bible plan, right? And it kind of turns into a competition where like, oh, we're kind of like, it might be one-sided competition, it might be both-sided, but you guys are like, hey, I need to get to the finished race, whatever. I need to finish the Bible plan before her. And I feel like that can be negative in a sense because it's not genuine. It's just like you're only reading because you want to show the other person out. And I feel like that kind of thing is like negative. You have anything to say?
I say like the competition part could kind of push you to do more and learn more, but then it also goes for like
the competition can be like, it can motivate you like, hey, I need to get on my stuff, I need to go and read the Bible, but like it can quickly turn into, hey, now I'm just doing it for show, just so that they can know that like I'm reading my Bible. Hey, they know that like I'm a serious Christian or something, but like it takes away from the genuine, the passion for God. So that's why I think it's like, it's good, but it's not good. And then the last question, I gotta end this on a goofy kind of note, is do you guys think that if Jesus was on this earth right now, do you think that he would be on social media like, hey, I'm here with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with the gang, the disciples is my gang. Do you guys think that he would be on social media like that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Why not? Because we said the social media is a big platform. You could reach out to a lot of people. He could become a social media influencer.
Yeah, but depending on how the influence is taken, could also hinder or like be a growth to others.
I just feel like, social media, the platform is there. We say that it can help us to get places, but Jesus was looking to God so he can get places. He wasn't looking to social media. He doesn't need social media. Like, either way, people are going to know his name, depending on how God tells him to walk on this earth. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah, I do agree on that. Like, God doesn't need to, not God, Jesus doesn't need to be on social media, but since social media is there, somebody, like his followers, like during that time, like he may not have it, but his followers may video him and post him on social media, so like he doesn't have to do it, but like his word will get out there either way.
Kwabi, what about you? Do you think that he would be on, or?
I don't think he would be on social media like that. He would automatically just believe he doesn't need it, God will provide it, will, provide the way for him to get his message out. And I think, I don't think that like social media would be, it would be like the most efficient way. I think him going to preach in real life to get the message across would be better than just seeing @Jesus on Instagram or Twitter and then him tweeting
Isn't
out
there
or
a Jesus account or something like a God account already?
Like what he's saying, it also brings like the reality of it, because people put on facades. Not saying that Jesus will put up a facade, but you don't never know what's real or what's fake. So if he goes around preaching and doing his word and stuff, that would really empower and put people's faith higher, have them have that faith.
All right. Well, first of all, I want my panelists to clap for themselves because you guys did a pretty good job. Like, yes, we're ending this youth chat, but before you guys all log off, I just want to ask the panelists, how did you find this discussion? This is the first time we're doing a panel discussion by ourselves. How did you find the discussion? How did you find the conversation?
Dang.
Because he said, oh.
I was stretching, but it was good. Yeah.
I think it was good for us to talk it out and like just reestablish to ourselves that social media isn't everything, and at the end of the day as Christians we need to look back towards the word of God.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like it was wonderful, and it definitely needs to happen again.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say my thanks really quickly. Number one, I want to thank the panelists here for gathering here because I know it took a lot of courage and it took a lot of bravery to come up here and speak your own opinions and your own experiences and things like that. So I really want to commend them for that. And for those of you back home, I really don't want you to judge these people for their opinions and things of that sort because it did take a lot of bravery and not everybody will come up here and do that. I also want to thank the people who are viewing us right now and the people who are going to be viewing us later after we're off of this live. Thank you for viewing us and thank you for tuning in and supporting us. We want to thank the technical team. We want to thank the parents. And we want to thank the pastoral board and we want to thank Pastor Fred the most because they gave us this platform and they gave us this space. They seen the potential in us to grow and we started a new segment and a new series and we like that. And we want you guys to tune in on Sunday for the carols and Christmas service. That's happening on Sunday. Make sure that you tune in and make sure that you stream us live. And share this video with so many people. Share this live. We're going to have an IGTV video. You can share that with all of your friends. Go ahead and watch it. Like it. Comment. Give us feedback. We need feedback so that when we do this series again or we do another conversation, we know what to do better and we know how to improve the quality. So thank you guys once again so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys later. Thank you.